Jasper here. Okay, y'all, welcome back. If you haven't seen part 1, I highly encourage you to do so before moving here, as you won't understand what's happening. Also, the bonus behind the scenes retrospect is at the end. Anyways, enjoy. The guys come back from their 2-day yacht. The girls haven't been talking or doing anything pretty much while I imagine the boys were partying all day and all night on the yacht. The boys would be recalling the craziest moments of the night and would bring back some food for the girls, which they don't accept. Chris then announces that the teams have been dissolved and it's every camper for themselves. The guys would say a farewell to each other and wish each other good luck. Noah would lastly thank Jeff and DJ for helping him get talking with the ladies on board, which the three do what seems to be their own handshake. Heather would ask Noah if he'd be willing to still team up with her because she doesn't really have allies on the island except him. Noah knows that he has to play his hardest if he wants to win, so he has to get more strategic in who to vote out. Noah would say yes to working with Heather as the two worked well before and helped each other a bunch. So Noah would think to return the favor of Dodgeball in the talent show, he'll help her get by in the game. But Noah knows Heather is a threat, so at some point, he'll have to vote her out. Or not. Well, when all the threats are out. Oh yeah, and Chris announces that Eva is back from popular demand, and Izzy's also back. Nobody is thrilled to hear Eva's back, and Eva would be pretty angry at Bass members for voting her off, especially mad at Bridget for being a backstabbing traitor somehow. After Gwen sighs about Eva coming back, and Heather and Noah's alliance still here, Heather hears and proposes to Noah that maybe we should pretend to not get along, and Noah finishes with to create a false sense of security to our threats, which the two immediately agree. They stage an argument where Noah pretends to not want to be in Heather's alliance anymore. Heather would beg. As the two break off, Noah goes to the guys who feel bad Noah had to go through that. Gwen, Bridget, Lashana, and Katie are left speechless as they are shocked. Our friendship show so good can end with 2 days of relaxation away from one. Gwen has a confessional saying that she had no idea if this was for real or if this was some sort of an evil plan, but she just doesn't know. She'd rather keep herself away from the two though. If that's the case, as those two are the reasons why Trent is gone. Katie would be so excited to see Izzy back, and the two get along very well. Lashana's just happy that Katie reunited with a friend, and she has been sort of lonely without Sadie. Later in the cabins, Eva would harass Bridget even more until Lashana steps in and defends Bridget and tells Eva to go away, which Bridget would appreciate a bunch and would trust Lashana a lot more. Eva would storm off to Harold, Tyler, and Noah, forcing them to help her against the backstabbing traitors in the other cabin. Noah knows that Eva really needs to go. The pain challenge would start with Tyler, who has to endure snapping turtle slap shots for 10 seconds, and he survives. I'll briefly go through who I think would be the last people standing, or this video would be 1,000,000 years old. This video is already 1,000,000 years old. Eva, of course, is gonna make it, while trying to give punishments to Bridget. Lashana was able to survive for so long, so I think she makes it. I don't think Noah makes it as he's weak and not physically gifted at all. Tyler is strong, but I can imagine he has high tolerance to some things, but he gets out because he's clumsy and I can see him mess up in one of the punishments. The last challenge is the log run with the bear, and Lashana is doing it. Yeah, Lashana would still beat the bear and win immunity and the trailer. Everyone's just happy Lashana won, and Eva is impressed. Later, Eva makes a last chance effort to get someone, but her out. She tries to convince people to pile votes on a certain person. Now, out of the potential people here, Eva has Harold, Tyler, Izzy, Noah, and Heather. The rest would not be interested in working with Eva. Maybe Jeff and DJ, but they wouldn't want to vote Bridget. Now, Eva talks with Harold about giving his vote for tonight to Bridget. I don't think Harold would want to vote Bridget, as she has been nice to him overall, so he declines the request and points out Eva's random hate towards Bridget. And as soon as Eva is about to throw a fit, Tyler joins, asking what's all the commotion. Eva would calmly ask Tyler if he can vote Bridget, but Harold would advise Tyler against doing so, and this just gives Eva more power over us and everyone. Eva would get impatient over the talking and would ask them if they can vote Bridget one last time, which Harold has had enough and storms out to tell everyone. Heather and Noah wouldn't work with Eva, as she's very strong and could become a threat if she keeps winning challenges. Eva might be able to force Izzy and Katie, but Katie would be able to tell Lashana about this, as the two are friends. Lastly, I don't think Heather would want to work with Eva, as she's gonna become a bigger threat as the days go on, and She's gonna make the two look like threats. So in the votes, Eva is out with literally everyone voting her. Eva would throw a fit after being voted out. Chris would also show the confessionals of everyone. It's pretty much filled with Eva hate and Eva hating on Bridget for being a backstabber. And luckily for Noah and Heather, they don't reveal that they're in an alliance and they only wave goodbye to Eva and she deserves every vote. Noah and Heather are relieved. In this episode, it starts with Izzy and Katie hanging out together, having so much fun talking. Heather would also spot the two talking and comes up with an idea. The guys spend an entire night partying and Noah's able to start a friendship with Bridget after talking about Jeff and how good of a guy he is, which Noah thinks the two are made for each other as they get along and they're overall chill people. Bridget does consider maybe having feelings for Jeff, but she doesn't admit it. Noah would tell Bridget that if she needs to be help to be set up anytime, he's more than happy to help her, which Bridget appreciates. All the guys and Bridget are friendly to each other, and that's good as Noah sees ally potential between DJ and Jeff and Harold and Tyler. Harold would talk to Tyler about hoping he can confront Lashana about his crush on her, which Tyler is hopeful and says, Lashana probably is getting hints of love from your letters, right? Harold doesn't know. Heather and Noah would meet up, flexing how many potential votes they have. Noah, guess what? I have 2 potential extra votes. Heather, guess what? I have 5 potential extra votes. I'll use half of them to vote someone random, and the other half to vote for the person. Heather is thrilled, and the two know that they have alliance-worthy people. It's just who do they vote for? Heather and Noah wouldn't know for now, but they'll look for someone throughout the day. Lashana's trailer would be destroyed, and we transition to Chris announcing the key treasure hunt challenge, where everyone has to find their keys. I'll just say the same people get the same keys, and for the new people, Harold gets Duncan's key, Katie gets Lindsay's, Tyler gets Trent's, and Noah gets Owen's. Noah straight up wouldn't even try to get a key from a bear, but this is good as he sees this time as perfect time to recruit allies. Heather thinks the same too, but knows Katie has been influenced by Gwen, so she'll need some extra steps to convincing Izzy and Katie. For now, Noah just helps Heather get her key, which she does. Gwen and Lashana search together to talk more about Heather. Izzy and Katie search together, but temporarily split to focus more on finding their keys. Harold and Tyler help each other get their keys, as Harold is the brains and Tyler is the bronze. Noah initially goes for Jeff and DJ for an alliance at first, but after realizing the two are not helping each other and Jeff is in the septic tank, he thinks of going for Harold and Tyler for the time being. Gwen and Lashana would be talking about how bad a person Heather is, reading Gwen's diary, piling votes on Trent for no reason. Lashana apologizes for ever sticking with that backstabbing traitor, but she gets startled knowing that she just repeated Eva's line. Gwen says it's alright, and Lashana promises to help Gwen beat Heather, and potentially Noah as he's still suspiciously different. Little did the two know, Heather heard a little bit of the talk, and now knows Lashana is probably the threat, and she's annoying to deal with and hear. Heather would see Izzy alone, and she goes to approach her. We see Harold throw a fish to distract sharks for a Tyler's key, but right after that, Noah approaches the two, telling them they're awesome people and he'd like to work with them. Noah would tell Harold, your intelligence is astonishing, and Tyler, your strength is incredible. No wonder Lindsay fell in love, and I'm so sorry she got voted out. I hope we can make an alliance to combat the big strong threats on this island. Harold and Tyler are interested by the alliance, and ask Noah what is he going to do with the alliance. Noah would claim that he'll help the two get as far as he can in the game, while beating all the strong threats, which Harold and Tyler like the idea of, as the two would love to make it to the finale. Harold just hopes his love Lashana makes it, and which Noah is not confident about, but says sure. The three shake hands and the alliance has been formed. Noah tells the three to meet up with him 15 minutes before elimination to discuss who to vote for. Heather would pretend to be crying and be in distress to Izzy, which Izzy asks what's wrong. Heather would be like, Lashana is just such a mean person. She insulted my shoes, my clothes, and my physical fit, saying I'm thinner than paper and she can rip me apart any day. Izzy would believe this and would try to comfort Heather, saying, she's not weird in any way like that creepy old fisherman who helped me survive a few days, which Heather thanks Izzy for the support. Heather and Izzy then go to Katie to tell her what Lashana did. Katie can't believe what she's hearing. Her friend on the Gopher team is really just a mean bully, really boggles Katie's mind, as she didn't expect this at all. Heather would burst into tears, with Izzy asking if Katie would support Heather this time. Between Lashana and Izzy, I feel like Katie trusts Izzy more because she treated Sadie really well, and Sadie is the one she cares for the most, so she would follow what Izzy says and helps Heather with her feelings. Heather is glad that she has true friends who are here to support and would ask if they can maybe vote Lashana tonight, which Izzy says yes, but Katie is not sure, and for now, she awkwardly says yes, which thrills Heather. Heather then spends the next few hours helping the two. Later, everyone opens their chest, and Heather would be lucky and gets the immunity idol, but she hides it after Noah spots the idol in Heather's hands and looks at her. She pretends to not be excited, which gives hope to LaShawn and Gwen, who want to vote her. Jeff would get his cologne, which he's happy with. Later, Noah gets Jeff and DJ hanging out with him, where he tells them they are the coolest people and he wants to be just like them. Jeff reassures Noah that he is already cool, a chill, awesome person. And his bro, which DJ says too. Noah's like, really? I've been thinking, and I'd like to bring you guys and Bridget to the Final Four, which DJ and Jeff are excited about, and Jeff is especially happy that Bridget is coming along. Noah says that he'll be a knowledgeable and a person the guys can trust. Noah then asks Guys Alliance, and puts his hand forward, which DJ and Jeff look at each other and say Guys Alliance. Jeff is so stoked and wants to tell Bridget, but before Jeff leaves, Noah asks if we can vote Heather today as she's kind of getting on his nerves. DJ and Jeff are okay with this, and Jeff runs to tell Bridget the good news and who to vote for. Later, Noah would tell Tyler and Harold to vote Izzy, as she's a really creepy person who snuck up in his sleep once, which Harold and Tyler don't like the sound of, so they agree. Gwen and LaShawna go to Bridget to ask if she can vote for Heather, which Jeff comes in time to tell Bridget to vote for Heather, and to come with him away from Gwen and LaShawna. Gwen and LaShawna don't say anything, as they smile hearing Jeff wanting Bridget to vote Heather. Jeff tells Bridget the good news, and Bridget is excited to work with Noah, as he seems like a fun dude who's very smart and can help us, even though he's suspicious. Even though Noah told his alliances to vote for different people, Noah plans to vote for LaShawna with Heather and her alliance, and they definitely know she is so out. In the ceremony, Chris would laugh at how many people voted for Heather, which Gwen is confused and asks why is he laughing, until Chris announces Heather played her immunity idol she got from the challenge, which LaShawna is looking bewildered. Gwen's like, she has an immunity idol? Gwen is very angry. The people who get marshmallows are Heather, Katie, Tyler, Harold, Jeff, DJ, Gwen, Bridget, Noah, and the last person getting a marshmallow is Izzy, so LaShawna is really shocked, but wishes Gwen a good luck, and says goodbye to all of the guys except Noah and Heather. Harold would say, wait, LaShawna, I meant every word I said on those poems. LaShawna would be like, that was you? And the two run together for a kiss before LaShawna's pulled away, leaving Harold sad she's gone. Heather and Noah are determined to win. Gwen would be lonely right after LaShawna gets eliminated. After a night of partying with the boys, Bridget wakes up and sees Gwen sitting in front of the cabins. She asks what's wrong, and Gwen says nothing, but Bridget would insist Gwen telling. Gwen says Cody, Trent, and LaShawna, her very good friends, have all been eliminated. Bridget agrees that's pretty sad to think about, as LaShawna was such a good person, and Bridget can't believe that Heather tricked us all last ceremony. Gwen's like, oh yeah, I hate her so much. She's constantly trying to ruin my life here as the days go on. Bridget agrees and assures Gwen that she can trust her anytime. Your secrets are good with me. Gwen would appreciate and thanks Bridget for being one of the last good people here. Heather would be hanging out with Katie and Izzy, talking about LaShawna and the good times they had with her. Chris would announce the challenge, more importantly, the 3 ways you can win immunity. 1, by helping Chef find campers. 2, by hiding until the end of the game. And 3, making it to the dock chair without being blasted by Chef. Everyone would be split up. I'll briefly go through who gets caught and what happens after. Heather would hide in the kitchen, but Katie would also think of hiding there, so the two would see each other, which Heather does not like, and tells Katie to move. Before Katie can move, Chef catches them and sprays them. As Chef is looking in the mess hall for more people, he still finds Izzy on the ceiling, and they still have that epic match, which Chef sprays Izzy at the dock. Izzy would sink, but would notice Harold, who is using a straw to breathe while he's underwater, and she agrees to be quiet. Heather now just aims for finding people. Bridget would scare the skunks, causing her to be smelly and to be found. Heather would look far and wide until she finds Gwen, who is blending in with the grass. That means Heather can claim her immunity, but Gwen would go up to Heather, telling her she knows that she's up to something when she tries desperately to get immunity. Heather responds, saying, oh please, stop being salty, Gwen. Why don't you look for someone if you want instability, but I doubt you get it. Gwen's like, don't tell me you're working with Noah in an alliance again. Heather's like, no, it's not like I'm working with that weakling again. He can have any alliance he wants with anyone, and plus, it's not like he's working in multiple alliances. As soon as Heather says that, she laughs and runs away with Gwen feeling suspicious. As Jeff and DJ are found, Gwen would share her suspicion towards Noah working with multiple alliances and possibly betraying one of them. Gwen asks if Bridget is in an alliance with Noah, which Bridget says Bridget staying loyal to Jeff and the alliance would say no, but she feels bad for lying. Gwen would ask Bridget to be careful and to keep an eye on Noah. Later, Noah and Tyler are found after extreme search efforts, but Chef would realize Harold hasn't been found and runs to the dock to see Harold has immunity. Challenge is over. After the challenge, Heather would go talk to Noah about how much Gwen gets on her nerves and how she needs to go now. Noah can't agree more that Gwen is becoming a real threat who can expose us and our alliances if she has the members. Heather would tell Noah she'll try to get her alliance to vote Gwen, and Noah needs to get his alliances to go for Gwen. Noah sees Gwen and Bridget together and waits until Gwen leaves for his time to talk with Bridget. Noah would ask Bridget if she's willing to vote Gwen, as she's a strong and smart player who can beat us all, which Bridget says no, and Gwen's our friend, and she's very helpful and nice. Noah didn't know that, so he awkwardly changes Bridget's vote to Izzy, as she's weird. Noah would also say that he'll tell the rest of the alliance to vote Izzy, which Bridget is okay with. Bridget says in the confessional that that interaction was really weird, as if Noah really wanted Gwen out, and thinks back to what Gwen said about Noah playing alliances, but she isn't really sure. Noah would tell Jeff and DJ I'd imagine they're okay with voting Gwen, and same with Harold and Tyler, as they haven't really interacted with her. Bridget would think of asking Jeff who is he voting for, which he says Gwen. Bridget would ask Jeff to not vote for Gwen, but Jeff would say Noah is just helping us clear threats, which Bridget says Gwen is not a threat. Jeff's like, but Bridge, Noah's doing us a huge favor and eliminating threats. He's loyal and working with us, and it's not like he's helping any other alliance vote for any other person, right? Bridget fails to convince Jeff, but Jeff says it'll be alright, and she has him. In the votes, Gwen is out. She says bye to Bridget and hopes she can kick Heather's butt. Heather and Noah are happy though. They think they could have made Gwen more miserable by voting Bridget, but it's better to get her out now than later. Since Bridget is still here, Jeff wouldn't be crying, and the two would be happy doing some late night talking. In the morning, Noah would wake up seeing Harold picking his nose and Tyler stubbing his toe after working too close to the wall. Noah's in disbelief with how one of his alliances is just full of weaklings. Noah would try his best to be inspiring to the two, so they'll do better. Noah would make a comment, we made it so far, and at this point in the game, we got to work our hardest so we can get the money. And Tyler says, yeah, while Harold puts his hand in the middle, and the three celebrate. Jeff and Bridget would be talking about what they'd feel if one of them got eliminated. Jeff can never imagine a thing and hopes Bridget can stay in the game. Bridget would find Jeff very sweet, and would also wish to stay in the game longer, hopefully beating out threats like Heather. Noah would report to Heather how sloppy Harold and Tyler are to work with, and he doesn't know how much of their antics he can take, which Heather just tells Noah to keep working with them, as she'd rather have them in the finale rather than Jeff, DJ, and Bridget. Noah then hopes that either alliance doesn't find out that he's working for both. Heather and Noah separate, but Bridget would see the two splitting. Chris would announce the bike building and racing challenge. He'd tell the campers that they have to create their own bikes and the best one wins. Jeff and DJ are excited to build bikes, but Bridget is thinking of the worst right now. As soon as Heather and Noah see the motorcycle in the shed, they immediately know what to do. Izzy would build her bike really fast and would invite Katie to go on the crazy ride Lashana also went on. Jeff and DJ get to work on the bikes, and Jeff would help Bridget a bit on her bike. We could see Harold and Tyler working together, and with Harold reading the book and being knowledgeable, while Tyler places in the parts. While making their bikes, Noah and Heather talk about who they'd vote out next. They definitely want to vote the strongest person here, so that would be DJ. Noah would admit TJ was a nice person to work with, but at least Jeff and Bridget will still be happy together. Noah chuckles. Heather would realize Noah's alliance with them would break down, but after the ceremony, Noah should just try being better friends with Harold and Tyler and maybe get Jeff and Bridget out. Noah likes how far ahead Heather's thinking, and with this plan, they are so getting in the finale. Heather would then suggest Noah make an alliance meeting with Bridget, Jeff, and DJ to assure the alliance will be going strong. While making the bikes, Bridget would warn Jeff and DJ about Noah as she saw the two leave. He and Heather leave after talking to each other, and she suspects the two are working together. Jeff and DJ brush it off, thinking that's crazy, and Jeff would immediately change the topic to how Duncan must be doing now, which Jeff imagines he must be running from trouble or something. Bridget just hopes Duncan is doing good, and would comment on how good Jeff and DJ have been. Not bullying Harold recently. She would soon regret saying that, as DJ and Jeff would come up with a mischievous idea to prank him one more time. After Bridget fails to stop the two, DJ and Jeff pull up to Harold to give him an extra special s'more to thank him for being such a cool person and a sorry gift to their bullying. Harold would check the s'more if there's anything other than marshmallows and chocolate, which he doesn't find. Jeff and DJ pretend to be in a rush, giggling knowing that they were able to hide Harold's underwear beneath the chocolate. A few minutes go by and the guys are seen finished with their bikes. Noah hears the excitement coming from Jeff and would ask the three if they can gather in for a team meeting, which DJ and Jeff are alright with, but Bridget isn't looking so hopeful. At the same time, Harold takes a bite of his s'more after finishing his bike along with Tyler's. Harold would realize that he was tricked after seeing his underwear with a bite mark. Harold's like, "That's it. I'm going to confront these guys once and for all." Tyler would tag along too. Noah would ask who should be the one going home tonight. Jeff's like, whoa, why are we thinking about that now? Noah would say, "I just want to see where you stand in the game, and I want to hopefully help you guys by taking out the one threat here." As Jeff is suggesting names, Bridget interrupts and tries saying we should just see who wins the challenge and who seems like a threat throughout, but Jeff would have come up with Heather. As Jeff is suggesting names, Bridget interrupts and tries saying we should just see who wins the challenge and seems like a threat. Harold and Tyler make it to the cabin, but can't help not to hear what Noah is talking about in the cabin. Harold would hear Jeff asking if we're going to vote Heather, which everyone nods, so the alliance huddle, and Jeff would shout out, "Us four to the finale." That line makes Harold break in. Everyone is shocked, but Harold would say, "I was going to approach you first about my underwear being in my s'more, but more importantly, Noah, why are you here? Aren't you in an alliance with us? Don't tell me you're double-crossing us for these guys." Bridget would be like, "I always knew something was up with you, Noah." Jeff's like, "You ditched us for them? Not cool, man." Noah would try explaining himself, saying he just wants to help them all, but everyone would leave the cabin angry and broken up. Noah has no alliances to himself. Noah would admit in the confessionals that really sucked, and it all happened because Jeff and DJ did a little trolling on Harold again, which he admits was funny, but at a very wrong time. And now he has to fully rely on Heather and her alliance. Noah would whisper what happened, which Heather would tell Noah we have to beat all these losers. For the races, Chris makes everyone draw a name from a hat to get their bike, so here's who's getting whose bike. Heather gets Noah's bike. Noah gets Tyler's. Tyler gets Bridget's. Bridget gets DJ's. DJ gets Jeff's. Jeff gets Harold's, and Harold gets Heather's. Noah's thrilled to know that Heather has his bike, but Heather hopes Harold will push through and cross the finish. And of course, Katie and Izzy are nowhere to be seen. The race starts, everything would be going alright until Jeff's bike would fall apart, because Jeff would still forget to put bolts in his bike, so DJ wipes out. Bridget and Jeff would crash into DJ, and so they would wipe out. Tyler would be able to speed past Harold, and Noah, as he is very athletic, and as he gets closer to Heather, Heather sees and uses Noah's motor to move faster, winning her first. Tyler would come in second, Noah in third, and is very tired, while Harold makes it later. Chris would congratulate Heather, Noah, Tyler, and Bridget for making it to the final round. Harold would complain he rode Heather's bike to victory for nothing, and she storms off, but Heather doesn't care. Before Chris starts the last race, Chris tells the campers that the winner receives immunity for today, while the last one to cross the finish line is out. The race starts, and everyone bikes at around the same speed. It is until Bridget tries harder and passes Heather and Noah. Heather and Noah know now who to get out. Tyler would set off a landmine and lands in oil, which he can't move in. As soon as Tyler is gone, Heather and Noah use their motors to speed past Bridget. Heather would arrive first, winning immunity, and Noah is smiling, waiting for Bridget to pass the finish, which she eventually does, extremely tired. Chris would congratulate Heather on immunity and tells Bridget that she is out. Bridget would be completely confused until Chris explains that Tyler never crossed the finish, and she was technically the last person to cross it, so Bridget accepts her defeat. Stupid ass rules. DJ and Jeff would be so sad, and Jeff would be crying knowing Bridget is eliminated, and cries, but Bridget would calm Jeff down and tells him it's alright and don't cry. Keep playing for me, try your best and kick Heather and Noah's asses, which Jeff happily obliges. At the dock, Bridget says her farewells to everyone. Before Bridget steps on the boat, Jeff would run and lean in for a kiss with Bridget. How romantic. Bridget is shipped away, and Jeff runs crying to the confessionals. Heather and Noah didn't expect this reaction at all, and Noah didn't expect this reaction. And Harold is happy because he thinks Jeff deserves this for making s'mores with his underwear. The episode would start with everyone watching the scary horror movie. I can see everyone being terrified of the film except Izzy. who enjoys every second of it. Jeff would be scared and crying because of Bridget, but DJ pats Jeff on the back as he's too terrified from the film. When the film ends, Jeff would start wondering where Chris is. Jeff would catch Chris and Chef leaving the island and receives news of an escaped psycho killer with a chainsaw and a hook. All the campers are immediately terrified except Heather, who thinks this is all fate. I think Noah would find the fact that Chris left behind his hair gel to be very unsettling and is afraid of a potential killer with a hook. He tries to get Heather to stay, but Heather isn't scared by any of this and goes on to take a shower. The rest of the campers plan on staying together except Izzy and Katie, who walk in the woods talking about the scariest times of their lives. Noah would be explaining some rules for the guys to follow if there is a psycho killer with a hook. Tyler would ask, "Why are we listening to you?" But Noah would ask Tyler if he wants to see the killer with the hook. 1. Never go alone. 2. Never go to the woods. 3. Never go to the woods alone. The guys just sit quietly at the campfire, hoping the killer doesn't sneak up on them. Katie and Izzy would be the first ones to see Chef as the psycho killer and are chased by him to the tent. After some time of worrying about Heather, Noah would see DJ having to go to the toilet, so he takes Jeff with him. Noah would also ask if the two can check if Heather's still there. Jeff would wait outside but is lured by ice cream truck music. DJ would see Heather with a face mask, scaring him so bad he runs around the island screaming, and yeah, he ends up in the tent. Chef would then surprise Heather, who was about to take a shower, and yeah, she's out. Soon, Chef would catch Jeff after some time. Noah would freak out that no one came back. He'd beg Harold and Tyler to not leave, but after what Noah has done, they want to leave to get some food at mess hall. That means Noah is left all alone, and he starts hearing a voice that calls him to the dock. Noah would try to ignore it at first. He then feels too pressured at the moment, so he'll finally walk to the dock. That is where Noah meets Chef, who tries to chainsaw Noah while Noah throws stuff. Eventually, I imagine Noah being able to kick the chainsaw stick and carry the chainsaw towards Chef, which Noah beats the psycho killer and wins immunity, which he celebrates but faints after knowing what he just did. When Noah is carried by Chef to the tent, everyone sees Harold and Tyler eating sandwiches while the actual psycho killer is behind them, and they don't notice. They just hope the psycho killer doesn't murder them. Everyone rushes towards the mess hall to tell Harold and Tyler the psycho killer behind them is real, which the two would scream, but Tyler would actually fight good against the killer and gets the killer to stop the act and to call it quits on the killer. Harold is so happy for Tyler while Tyler's dozed off. Between everyone, I feel like DJ would still have the worst scare because dude ran around the entire island screaming, and it wasn't even the psycho killer who caused that. So sadly, DJ is out with Jeff crying, "Why do all my people have to get out now?" Jeff is still in distress from the challenge and losing Bridget, now DJ. Jeff would be crying in the confessionals about losing Bridget and DJ. Harold would hear the crying in the confessionals. Harold would then explain in a confessional that losing Bridget and DJ must have taken a toll on Jeff, as he wasn't happy and positive like usual, and he slept on the empty side of the boys' cabin, which Harold now feels bad, but he hopes Noah doesn't do anything to Jeff, as Noah really screwed all of us, especially Jeff. As Izzy and Katie are playing games with each other on the table, Heather admits she might have lost Izzy and Katie, and it's like they've started having a mind of their own and went somewhere else. Noah's just hoping that he can make it to at least Final 5, knowing that 3 people on the island could ally, and he can't do anything about that. Heather would see that Jeff isn't here at mess hall, so she'd propose that she'll try to console Jeff and try to earn a favor from him to vote for Harold or Tyler, hopefully. Noah isn't that hopeful, but says this is the only shot, which Noah asks Heather to please do. Harold would discuss that he feels bad for Jeff and wants to make it up with him within an alliance against Heather and Noah for all they've done. Tyler would worry that this alliance would be exposed, but Harold is like, exposed to who? We'll keep it a secret from Heather and Noah. Chris would then announce to everyone that after today, 6 of you are gonna be in the final 6, which excites almost everyone. Harold would hope this alliance would work, and he can win for Lashana and Katie. Katie is excited to win for Sadie. Chris would announce the animal hunting challenge. To keep it simple, the people who originally were here get the same animal, so Jeff still gets a duck, Izzy gets a deer, and Heather gets a bear. For the new people, Tyler gets Owen's chipmunk, Noah gets Lashana's frog, Harold gets Duncan's raccoon, and Katie gets Gwen's duck. The challenge starts, and Harold and Tyler would approach Jeff, feeling bad for what happened to him, which Jeff appreciates their sympathy. Harold would argue that all of this could have been prevented if it weren't for Heather and Noah messing with us and getting the 2 eliminated. Jeff's like, really? Though if you join our alliance, we will get Heather and Noah out as revenge and will take you to the finals. All right, says Jeff as he shakes hands, but right after, he just feels sad that he isn't getting Bridget back. Heather would see Jeff sad and would go to him. Heather would start with, "For the record, I did not expect at all for Bridget and DJ to get out." Jeff would still be sad. Heather would then go on about how unfair the eliminations were, like they just got out from unfair rules Chris just made up. If I were Chris, I'd let there be a vote. Jeff would agree that a regular vote would have been much better. Heather would then say, "If it makes it better, I'll help you get your animal to make things easier." Jeff would have been through a lot of emotions lately, so I imagine Jeff would take Heather's help and also talks to Heather about Bridget and DJ and Noah. Jeff is bummed to know that his entire team, he thought Noah was loyal to him, DJ and Bridget, but Jeff doesn't know what happened for Noah to then go ahead and make an alliance with Harold and Tyler, who he's alright with but really thought Noah was only helping him and felt special, lucky, and happy to be working with. Heather would lie, agreeing Noah was a cool, funny person until somewhere in between, he became serious and was betraying everybody. The two would keep talking and would help each other get a beaver from the dams. Heather would shake the dam and Jeff would grab the beaver. Out of everyone, I think Jeff would be the first to bring their animal. I feel like with Tyler, it would be like Tom and Jerry, where Tyler is chasing the chipmunk, but the chipmunk is running. Katie would also deal with the sonic duck. Harold would have to battle a horde of raccoons while he's running. Noah would just be like Lashana and tries to lure the frog, but it doesn't work, and Izzy shoots everything. Since Chris awards Jeff a good meal in 30 minutes, Jeff would ask Heather if she needs any help with getting a bear, which Heather is more than glad to take. Jeff would suggest Heather being some sort of distraction for the bear, like wearing deer antlers, which Heather is not thrilled to wear, but she does. Within a few minutes of Heather failing to attract the bear, Izzy would accidentally shoot Heather in the butt, causing her to be knocked out. Jeff would initially try to help Heather, but he smells his food coming in. Eventually, everyone would get their animals in the pen, except Heather, of course. In the ceremony, it's a hard decision for Jeff to choose between voting Noah, like Harold and Tyler said, or saving Noah by voting someone else. After seeing what Izzy did to Heather earlier by accident, I think this terrifies Jeff more than Noah, as Izzy is crazy and unpredictable, and she might be able to shoot more people if she has the gun. So with Heather getting Noah to ask Katie and Izzy to vote Harold as a decoy, Jeff makes a move of sparing Noah for Heather, as Noah seems to be the main one helping paralyzed Heather, which Jeff appreciates of Noah. So with 3 votes, Izzy is out for being crazy, and Harold and Tyler are surprised and ask Jeff if he voted Izzy, which he says yeah, making Harold yell at him for letting the villains get away. Everyone is woken by Chris's helicopter. Katie would be the only one who comes out to see. Chris would announce that it would be suck to be, and then calls out everyone who has been eliminated in order, so that means it sucks to be Ezekiel, Eva, Justin, Owen, Izzy, Courtney, Cody, Sadie, Beth, Duncan, Lindsay, Trent, Eva again, Lashana, Gwen, Bridget, DJ, and Izzy again. Chris would announce everyone is going to be handcuffed to another person on the island, and the winning duo both get invincibility in the votes. Noah isn't hopeful that he'll be winning invincibility unless it's Heather, but he doubts he will be partnered with Heather, as Chris will probably choose the absolute worst person for each player. He then goes on with how Jeff is an alright party dude, and hopefully Heather can get his vote, and Harold and Tyler would rather just lose the challenge than work with me. Katie would be expressing her sadness to Sadie and Izzy leaving, but she tries to tell herself to keep moving on and hopefully find someone on the island who's good to her. Katie would think Heather and Jeff are alright, but the other 3 are so serious and no fun. Jeff would say something similar besides Heather and Katie. Everyone seems to be so serious, especially Harold, who's yelling at him yesterday for voting Izzy rather than Noah. Harold would go on about how Jeff needs to take this seriously, as Heather and Noah are still in the game and they're gonna kick us out if we don't get them out sooner. Tyler would miss Lindsay and would say Heather and Noah are not cool for playing us. And lastly, Heather hopes to get good with Jeff and Katie to get Harold and Tyler out, and would call everyone who got out winner challenged. Here's how I think Chris would partner everyone up. So Noah goes with Katie, Heather would go with Tyler, and Jeff goes with Harold. Katie is hopeful while Noah isn't hopeful, and probably would want to get this challenge over with, just to influence the vote later, while Katie thinks ahead and hopes to win, so she'll try and challenge us. Heather and Tyler go together since Heather is good at giving commands, while Tyler is more submissive, and Jeff and Harold since Jeff wants to have a good time, but Harold is so serious and really wants him to try his hardest. The first challenge is one feeds the other, and first to finish their food wins a point. Harold would tell Jeff he better not be playing any jokes, which Jeff says he won't, and Harold makes Jeff volunteer. Tyler is hopeful and just wants to eat all the food while Heather tries stuffing it. Noah would sort of be disinterested in feeding Katie, but Katie would ask Noah what's wrong. Noah's just not hopeful he can make it past today on the island, which Katie feels bad and tells Noah maybe he should just focus on winning a challenge rather than losing one and being voted out. Noah sighs and says alright and feeds Katie a little bit. Tyler would tell Heather that she's going slow, and Harold would keep on telling Jeff that he has to eat faster while Jeff savors the food and enjoys it. Out of everyone, Heather and Tyler would finish the food first and win the first point with Harold stressed. In the canoe part, Jeff would talk to Harold about the craziest things he and his bros pulled off, but Harold would tell Jeff to shut up and keep moving. Jeff would say that's harsh, but Harold would say, okay, so you're gonna call me a mean stickler for wanting to finish a challenge and help our alliance, which Jeff never said. Katie would tell Noah that he can't just expect to be out today and do nothing about it. Noah's like, then what do I have to do? Try consulting with the guys. Try telling them that you're sorry for whatever you did to them. Tell them about your change. If I didn't stop crying about losing Izzy and especially Sadie, then I would have left this show feeling sad, unfulfilled, and failed as I didn't do anything memorable after, but I tried after Sadie left, and I tried to make my time here memorable. And try my best to make it to the finale. Not many can see, but I still cry for the day Sadie got voted, and that day remains in my heart. But I knew Sadie would want me to keep moving on, so here I am now, trying my hardest so I can hopefully know people and maybe get far. Okay guys, I know Katie hasn't been doing much, and this probably just came out of nowhere, but bear with me as Katie is trying to inspire Noah to do better from the heart, as Katie has a heart for people she cares for. Noah would be like, wow, I didn't expect much from you, but you were able to stay happy and play your best all along, even though not everyone knows you, to put it in the best light. You were still happy and tried. Meanwhile, here I am, with everyone knowing who I am, and me being unhappy because of my mindset of not moving on until something goes my way. Maybe I'll try a little harder and I'll try talking with the guys. At the island, Jeff would try to take pictures, but Harold would tell Jeff to quit messing around and throws the camera. Jeff and Harold would then have the same talk as original, but with Gwen with Harold stating he just wants to win and has no time for losing. But Jeff would tell Harold that there's lots of time, and he doesn't have to force anything or anyone or overthink. He just has to be calm and don't worry about others. Enjoy the moment. Harold would ask how he can enjoy the moment when Noah and Heather are here, which Jeff would point to not overthinking or forcing anyone, and Harold should just focus on having fun while trying to win challenges. And Jeff adds that being chill and partying is a state of mind. Harold sighs and asks how can he be in the chill state of mind if Heather and Noah are on his nerves, which Jeff again points back to not worrying and just relaxing. Eventually, the two throw the tiki totem and win a point, with Jeff celebrating with woos with Harold, who comments awesome. For the last challenge, the totem pole head one, Katie would have heard Chris say the elimination order earlier, so she remembers it and is able to do it with Noah, who stacks the head while Katie gives demands. Heather and Tyler would keep fighting over heads. All duos are at 1 point, so that means no one gets immunity, which Harold is alright with, as he's trying to calm down from everything. While Heather asks Noah if they can vote Harold, Noah actually thinks and would go to the guys to say sorry. I know I betrayed you guys by creating both of the alliances, and I'm sorry. I think it would have been better if we kept one alliance, but we were just friendly with each other, and I had a different mindset back then, but I'm willing to change myself for better. So moving forward, I want to end this tension between us, and hopefully we'll be alright with each other. I think the guys would accept this, but Tyler, this time, is the mischievous one, and suggests the 3-vote Noah. Heather would just hope that Harold is out with her votes, so in the elimination ceremony, Noah is the one out. Even though Noah apologized to the guys did accept, but they don't know or see any change yet, so they vote Noah out. Heather would tell Noah thanks for helping her, and Noah would tell Heather it's been a pleasure, and Heather should try making amends with the guys. And Izzy would talk about how fun it would be to get Katie back, which everyone's like, stop saying Katie's name. Noah would think Chris is onto something with how he's smiling to everyone saying Katie's name. What do you know? Katie is out for being the most popular option, which worries Heather as now she doesn't know if she can get Jeff as an ally. Camp Wawanakwa would be rainy. Almost everyone sits in front of their cabins. Jeff would be relaxing outside while Harold eyes down Heather, who is filing her nails. Tyler would be in the confessional booth, missing Lindsay and saying he doesn't remember the last time he saw Lindsay, but he hopes he can make it to the finale and see her cheer for him. He also talks about how serious he has to be to take the game now. Like, before you got a team that's got your back, well now it's everyone for themselves. Tyler would stay in the confessionals talking to pass the rain. Next morning, everyone would wake up to the camp being flooded. and they tried to get to land. Once on land, Harold would wonder where Tyler went, and the cameras would cut to Tyler realizing he's surrounded by water and doesn't leave. Harold then questions, where are we? Are we going to be safe? Jeff would say relax, and says Chris would send a rescue team if we're truly lost, which Harold doesn't agree, saying Chris is not nice at all and wouldn't even think about calling out our names. Heather would think this is some survival challenge, but Harold would argue they are actually lost. Tyler would come out of the confessional but would be scared by a T-Rex skull. Jeff would tell the two that he's gonna look for some food and relax, while Harold tries to encourage Jeff to come with him on a raft to hopefully find Camp and Chris, but Heather wouldn't care and would find a treehouse to hang out inside. Harold would start a raft to hopefully find Chris. Not wanting to be alone, Jeff would join Harold on the raft, leaving Heather behind. Tyler would start to go crazy over being stranded and would create a friend in place of Harold, Mr. Coconuts. Harold would talk about Heather out, as she is only going to get more annoying and aggressive from here, but Jeff responds with suggesting Heather might be dealing with the pressure of the game, and that's why she's so harsh. She might not know how to deal with all the emotions. That's why we should just calm down and resolve all these emotions first. Harold would argue that just gives Heather more time, but Jeff says more time to do what? Resolve her emotions? I mean, I don't think she has done anything mischievous these past few days. Everyone got out of some unfair elimination. Harold thinks Jeff is defending Heather because they're allies, but Jeff says no, he's just not worrying about anything and just going with the flow. I mean, relaxing got me this far, which gets Harold to calm down. Heather would see Tyler, who is excited to find Heather again. After Heather would see Tyler, who's excited to find Heather again, leading to a weird interaction with Heather confused why Tyler is celebrating like he won the loser championships. Harold would realize he and Jeff are going in circles, so they return to see Tyler weirding Heather. Harold and Jeff hug Tyler, glad he's back, but Tyler would say now their priority should be finding help, aka Chris, because he can't take any of this. Harold would say, that's what I was trying to do. Where were you anyways? The confessionals. Soon, all four would stumble across Chris and Chef's private camp, which the four celebrate, seeing as now the challenge is over. Heather and the guys are happy to find help, but Chris just tells the campers that there's no room for 6 in a 6 maximum RV. Heather would apologize to Harold for how she has been behaving today and admits finding help was the best choice, which Harold doesn't say anything and just thinks about what Heather just said. In the eliminations, Tyler would be sad to see Mr. Coconuts being the one to go. Harold and Jeff comfort Tyler, saying they're glad to have him back. All four campers would get stranded in the woods. Tyler would whine over another stranded survival challenge, but Harold encourages Tyler to stay put. Heather is starting to get sick of these challenges. Chef would announce 2 teams are going against each other. First one back to camp and touch the totem pole wins. The 2 teams are Heather and Jeff against Tyler and Harold. Tyler and Harold feel bad Jeff is working with Heather, but they wish the 2 good luck as, between themselves, they aren't going to waste any time. Heather would be more of the captain of the pair, while Jeff would follow Heather's commands in hopes of winning. Harold would follow the map, which tells them to climb a mountain to go north, but they see Heather and Jeff run north. Heather would discuss game plan for if ever Harold and Tyler catch up. Basically, they would find some way to trap them or scare them, so they can get their items, which Jeff is alright with. After some walking, Harold and Tyler catch up and pass them on a raft, which gets Heather and Jeff running. We go through a montage of Heather scaring Harold and Tyler first, and then getting their items, to Harold and Tyler scaring Heather and Jeff into a log. In the night, the 2 teams are left with their own items. Tyler and Harold find a bush to sleep inside, but Heather and Jeff would ask if they can sleep in the same place. Harold would hard decline, as he points out that Heather will steal the items and no way they'd trust her in this challenge, especially what she has done just in this challenge. Heather and Jeff back away, and Harold and Tyler find a new place to sleep. They go to a cave, not knowing Heather and Jeff are sleeping behind a tree near the cave. In the morning, Harold and Tyler wake up to their stuff being stolen. They immediately start running, but Tyler can smell Chef's sticky buns, so he starts running faster. He eventually passes Heather and Jeff, who are shocked without noticing, and he makes it to the totem pole, but realizes he's past the totem pole. He trips and knocks over all of Chef's sticky buns, making Chef angry. Heather and Jeff touch the totem pole and win. Harold would cry seeing Tyler lost the challenge for the 2, and at this point, can only wish the best for he and himself, as one of them are getting eliminated. In the elimination, Harold would tell Tyler that it was nice playing and working with him, which Tyler says too, and that he's sorry for focusing a bit too much on sticky buns. Between Tyler and Harold, I feel like Chef would be more mad at Tyler for knocking over his sticky buns. It's more of Tyler's clumsiness, which I think Chef would dislike more than Harold's nerdiness, so Chef declares Tyler out. Harold and Tyler pat on the back, and Jeff says bye to Tyler and handshakes him. Heather's just happy that Harold's main ally is out, but it would have been better if Harold himself was out because he's smart. Okay, semifinale. Jeff would be so stoked to make it to semifinale, and almost the finale. He tries to celebrate with Harold and Heather, and congratulates them on making it this far. Dude is just so happy. Jeff would also request tons of pancakes and eats one for every one of his bros. Heather would be in confessionals, admitting it is easy to get this far with her skills and a good ally like Noah, and now has to go against no good nerdy dweeb and a party boy, but the nerdy dweeb has proven to be more annoying. Harold would have a confessional, saying that it would have been much better to have Tyler here than heartless Heather. Jeff would be partying in confessional, commenting on how fire the pancakes are, and shouting out each and one of his bros. Heather would then talk about what she would do with the money, which is to start her. Heather would then talk about what she would do with the money, which is to start her own show, The World According to Heather. Harold would probably save his money for college and Lashana, and Jeff would probably throw the biggest party for everyone and set some money aside for maybe he and Bridget. Heather would comment, "No way that dweeb can beat me. For one reason, I'm just better at challenges and he just picks his nose and loses." Harold would say that it was nice for Heather to apologize for a few challenges ago, but that was the best time to get at her and hopes to beat her in today's challenge. Jeff would say he will be trying his best to make it to the finale, and it would be awesome if Heather or Harold made it with him. The triple dog dairy challenge starts. I'm not gonna highlight each dare, but basically, the game goes like this. Harold intends on doing the dares himself, but when his first dare is to lick something smelly, no Owen dares since he's not here. He dares Heather, but only once. So Heather does the dare and gets back at Harold by choosing him to do her dare, which you can see the pattern, and this goes on and on. I can imagine Jeff is trying to not be disgusted or horrified by any dare, and would just do it. Jeff is strong and knows TJ isn't here to hold him down, so he tries harder. Now it's between Harold and Heather, who is more willing to do stuff. Now Harold has a lot of smarts and wicked bad skills. I can imagine he tries to use the strategies he has in his mind. Heather is a good player, but her selling point is her manipulation skills and being a ruthless force in challenges, so I can see the two willing to do a bunch of stuff, but Heather would not be willing to get her head shaved. I kept the dares mostly the same, so that means Lindsay would have came up with having your head shaved, which Heather gets her head shaved, and sadly, she's out because she didn't accept it. Heather this season was unstoppable and amazing, and to have an unstoppable force be stopped would be an awesome way to get back at Heather for all she has done. Harold had to deal with bullying from the guys and having to deal with the bullying of Heather, so him getting back at her is satisfying. Harold and Jeff celebrate knowing they're in the finale, and Harold forgives Jeff for his dudes for the underwear trolling, which he figures he deserved because he did leave his underwear, and Jeff is glad to have stopped but more happy that Harold is honest and admits it. The two are happy nonetheless, and Heather would threaten to do legal action, which is BS. Yeah, she's out, and we have our finalists. Since both finalists get their winning endings, this will be more of a rewrite. Anyways, I've arranged everyone with who I think they would vote for. It's just a lot of people like Jeff's chill attitude, and especially the fact that he wants to throw up the biggest party with the money and invite everyone. Harold would still have some supporters, Gwen, Trent, Cody, LaShawn, and Tyler, who are friends. Jeff and Harold would have their confessionals about their time at camp. Jeff would say everything is awesome, the food, the people, while Harold would say camp is torture and he had to endure bullying for more than half of the time here. As the two are completing their challenges, I can see the two neck and neck as Jeff is relaxing and taking his time, while Harold is giving his all, while Tyler runs with him. But the changes would occur in the end, where in Jeff's ending, his supporters would pretend that they're throwing a party and they're waiting on Jeff to arrive, so they gather in a circle which gets Jeff pumped up. Harold would make a last effort move and would dive to the finish, which Harold loses speed to Jeff's running, so Jeff wins with everyone erupting, celebrating like the party has started. Jeff would be exhausted and would receive a hug from Bridget while everyone else jumps around him. Harold and his supporters would be happy, and Harold is proud of himself for almost winning this, beating his expectations and pretty much everyone else's. In Harold's ending, that dive would be Jeff, so Jeff would congratulate Harold while Jeff's supporters all congratulate Harold a bunch. Tyler would be ecstatic and would celebrate like he did in the Germany episode. Yeah, the two get their money and throw Chris in the water. And that's what I think would happen if Katie never switched teams. First of all, I'm so sorry for taking so long to come up with another video. Like, it has been 97 days since the last upload, but I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I want to thank y'all so much for being so patient and understanding of my situation. I want to thank y'all for 430 subscribers. That is incredible, and the fact that you stayed subscribed, even though I didn't post for a very long time, really shows me that you enjoy my content, and I'm grateful for every subscribers I can get. This also motivates me even more to keep writing these videos which I love doing. I couldn't for the past 2 months because I was dealing with some problems which have been resolved thankfully, but I'll be writing more awesome videos. We get changes like Katie not switching, Owen getting out early, same with Duncan, Lashana, but Katie, Tyler, and especially Harold making it far. We get an awesome alliance between Heather and Noah. Since Noah's labeled as the schemer, I thought this time I can let him shine with him playing in Dodgeball Challenge, and then working with Heather, which was an awesome idea to me, like the most villainous duo. I tried to have some stuff going for Katie, but sadly she's just not as popular and we don't know much about her besides her friendship with Sadie, because those two just don't compete again after this. I myself am not really a fan of the besties. I understand why people don't like them a lot, but I'm glad I can give them a place to shine and a chance to do better. Also, I'm sorry if my writing is just not as good as the other videos. I hope to become a better writer in the future, but I just returned after a 2-month break, so hopefully the next video will be much better. I'm happy to give them the chance, and I'm happy to give the video TD Wanderer refused to give. Special thanks to CXROQ for the idea, and thank you all for watching. We are so close to 500 subs, so if you want, tell all your friends about my channel. That really helps my channel. Comment down below your ideas for Revenge of the Island, and I don't plan to extend this what if, but if you want an extension, comment down below. Anyways, behind the scenes, y'all. Hey guys, what I didn't tell you is that the original video I was working on was actually this video. Like, it was still suggested by CXROQ, and I was working on it until early October. Yeah, as you can see here, I had it all written out, except for the finale, which I didn't write out. So, over here, I do talk about that I was gonna write out, I am really stuck on writing. Yeah, in late September, I was actually like stuck on writing this because of like some issues, and I didn't feel like writing this anymore, but I kept doing it, I kept pushing through, and this is all I wrote. Now the winners here would actually be Lashana and Trent, interestingly, and Heather Katie would have made it to Trial by Tri-Armed Triathlon. Yeah, very different, and here's the elimination order if you're curious. We have Ezekiel, then Eva, then Noah, then Justin, then Izzy, then Cody, then all these guys. If you're wondering why I didn't just go back to finishing this script, it's because I completely forgot what happened in this version, and the writing here isn't as good as the writing you heard earlier. The script isn't as good, and I just can't go back to writing this, or else if I just wrote the finale, then the finale would have been sucky to say the least, because like I did not know at all what I was doing throughout all this. It would have been very hard to get back into, so I decided to start all over. Well, I decided to give y'all the option to see if I can give a last chance to this idea and not throw it away. So I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Thanks for 430 subscribers, and thanks for sticking around to here, and I'll see you in the next video. Anyways, bye y'all.